Today we're on Job 2. Satan attacks Job's health. Again, there was a day when the sons of God, so these are the fallen angels. These are not Michael and Gabriel. These are the fallen angels. Came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord. This says everything. Satan has to present himself before the Lord to act on any evil. Know this, the next time you see evil, God has permitted it for a reason. Heaven knows why. Heaven only knows why. But they have to go before him because he is their authority. And there is no other authority. Make no mistake, who's in charge? And the Lord said to Satan, "From where do you come?" So again he asks him this. I'm not sure why. It almost is making Satan bow before him. Where are you going and what are you doing today? Satan answered the Lord and said, "From going to and fro on the earth and from walking back and forth on it." Then the Lord said to Satan, "Have you considered my servant Job? There is none like him on the earth, a blameless and upright man, one who fears God and shuns evil. And still he holds fast to his integrity, although you incited me against him to destroy him without cause." So Satan answered the Lord and said, "Skin for skin. Yes, all that a man has he will give for his life. But stretch out your hand now and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will surely curse you to your face." And the Lord said to Satan, "Behold, he's in your hand, but you have to spare his life." So Satan went out from the presence of the Lord and struck Job with painful boils, from the soles of his feet to the crown of his head. And he took for himself a potsherd with which to scrape himself, while he sat in the midst of the ashes. So his wife said to him, "Do you still hold fast to your integrity? Curse God and die." But he said to her, "You speak as a foolish woman. You speak as foolish women speak. Shall we indeed accept good from God, and shall we not accept adversity? In all this Job did not sin with his lips." Incredible. He's lost his livestock. He's lost his children. He's lost his hired hands. And now he's stricken in his body. And he does not question God. Job's three friends, I think we dare say frenemies. Now when Job's three friends heard of all the adversity that had come upon him, each one came from his own place: Eliphaz the Temanite, Bildad the Shuhite, and Zophar the Naamathite. For they had made an appointment together to come and mourn with him and to comfort him. And when they raised their eyes from afar and did not recognize him, they lifted their voices and wept. And each one tore his robe and sprinkled dust on his head toward heaven. So they sat down with him on the ground 7 days and 7 nights, and no one spoke a word to him, for they saw that his grief was very great. That is a very short chapter, chapter 2. His friends come, and as we know in preceding chapters, that his friends are not friends. Boy, am I accustomed to this type of quasi-friend. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but everyone probably has already read the book of Job. If you haven't, you should. They incite him, they indict him, they chastise him. It's the sickest thing you can see. It is the implementation of Satan within them all while saying they're Christians. Boy, am I familiar with this type of person. I have so many people that call themselves Christians as they burn me at the stake, as they lie and cheat and steal and fraud and fraudulent things and smear campaigns and just every kind of evil from these so-called friends. They're not friends. We've all dealt with them. If you're a Christian of any account, you've dealt with family members, neighbors, friends, co-workers, bosses that have this implementation. It's an implement that the devil uses within the defiled ones. The hijacked mind, body, and soul is a weapon that Satan uses against those of us who are trying to walk the walk. We will be persecuted by the demons within the hijacked soul. It's very difficult to keep your composure. Job does an exceptional job, but he has moments that he tells them that they can go shove it, and he's right. And God tells him in the end that he's right too, and that they're wrong and that they're evil. And if they don't pray, if Job doesn't pray for them, he's going to destroy them. Because God says to them repeatedly, you do not speak right of me as my servant Job does. This is the conclusion of chapter 2. We will take up chapter 3 tomorrow. But remember this in the interim. God chastises those he loves through these implements in the hijacked ones. The hijacked ones are here to test your faith, to test your endurance, to test your devoutness, to test you, because they can't wait to see you fail. They are not your friends. God did not send them, Satan did. Make no mistake about it. You will always know who sent the vessel, because they will either be well-wishers or they won't. Whenever foreigners came into anyone's kingdom in the Bible, they always asked the question, do you come in peace? We need to know who sent you. Was it the Holy One or the vanquished one? We need to know who sent you. Now, of course, they're going to lie. Some of them will lie and say we come in peace, and they're lying. That's the real weapon against you. And some will say that they don't come in peace and that they hate you. These are much easier enemies to deal with, those that hate you and they're upfront about it. You know how to deal with a full-blown enemy. It's very difficult to deal with a frenemy. Whoever came up with that lingo is correct. They're pretending to be friends, all whilst cursing you and robbing you. And not even in the dark, in the light. They're doing it right out in front of God and everybody to me. They curse me to my face. I'm like, wow, you are a belligerent demon, aren't you? And it's the low, I've learned this from a priest, it's the low-ranking demons that do the most chattering. The high-ranking demons are the plotters. The low-ranking demons are the backbiters. You know, they're very low level. Satan has a hierarchy, just like God does. He has a lot of little minions. In the narcissist world, we call them flying monkeys. There's one major narcissist, and all the little flying monkeys are doing his bidding. As we saw, that obviously comes from the Wizard of Oz. The Wicked Witch of the West and her minions coming against Dorothy. So it's the Wizard of Oz. Let's think of what it is. The devil, the warlock, the wizard that was running Oz. Hollywood knows how to paint a picture, don't they? Satan and the Antichrist and his minions. Well, let's just say they're everywhere. They're in your house. They're under the bed. They're in the trees. You got enemies and frenemies all over the place. But what you don't have many of is friends.